Welcome to the Trust 2009 New Zealand Bowls Open, the first of 6 episodes where we cover the finals from this tournament. I'm Dennis Katsanos, with me Terry Scott. And Terry, in the 3 years that this tournament has been running, it's become one of the premier events on the New Zealand Bowls calendar, hasn't it?
Yes, the New Zealand Open, it certainly has. This is the 3rd year, as you said, Dennis, and it certainly established itself as one of the top competitions. There's singles, pairs and triples. We're going to be in for some great bowls.
Terry, tell us a little bit about the green. Just off here, we were talking about 18 to 19 seconds from one end to the other. What does that mean for the competitors?
That means it's going to be a fairly quick green. It's a starweed green. They always run very quick. The conditions are quite blustery. I imagine they will be throughout this final series. It's going to be difficult for the players.
We start with the women's pairs. It's Trans-Tasman rivalry, New Zealand versus Australia. What can we expect from the two sides?
Oh, it's going to be close. This is a very, very good Australian combination, but don't write off the Cantabrians, Jan Shirley and Raylene Peters. They're good competitors. Jan Shirley improved outstandingly over the past couple of years.
Well, let's get into all the action from the women's pairs.
Welcome to the Henderson Bowling Club in Auckland and the Sky Sport Summer Series of Bowls for the first of the finals in the Trust New Zealand Open. Conditions are cloudy overhead and blustery. The women's pairs final about to get underway. It is an international affair with Anne Johns and Penny Lander from Australia up against the Canterbury combination of Jan Shirley and Raylene Peters. Hello, my name is Terry Scott, and with me in the commentary today is Australian international Gerard Beath, who lost the final of the men's singles event in the 2007 New Zealand Open. Gerald, welcome to New Zealand and back to the Henderson Bowling Club here in Auckland. Perhaps you can kick off with giving us a little bit of background about this Australian combination.
Thanks, Terry. First of all, thanks for letting me be a part of the team here. Yeah, Penny and Anne, they've teamed together a couple of times before in competition. This is Penny's first year in the Australian squad, and Jimmy, as she's affectionately known, it's her 2nd year. And yeah, they've performed well in the past, and I'm sure they're looking forward to a good representation today.
Well, each of the leads, Raylene Peters and Penny Lander. Raylene Peters about to deliver her second bowl, playing with the blue bowls and the green disc for our viewers, the New Zealand combination from Canterbury, playing with the green disc on their bowls, and Penny Lander playing with the orange bowls. Players have had 2 trial ends to get a feel of the conditions in green. The green running at a good 18.5 to 19 seconds today. The wind has made it a little bit tricky throughout the qualifying events for this, the New Zealand Open, as it appears as though it may continue through the finals. One shot at the moment. We can see the blue bowl of Raylene Peters sitting short of the jack as she delivers her 3rd bowl. Each player having 3 bowls each. The leads deliver their 3 bowls alternatively, and then the skips go to the mat end and deliver their 3 bowls. Well, the spray gun's out a little bit in the first end. The first opening bowl from Raylene Peters, very good, but not too much to get excited about from there on in.
I'm sure there's quite a few nerves going on out there at the moment, as you would expect, the final of a major competition. So
Anne Johns, and real international flavour too, because Anne Johns was of course born in Scotland.
Yes.
And Penny was born in England, I think, from my memory.
Yeah, well, I've only just worked that out myself. I knew Jimmy was from Scotland originally, but I never realised that Penny was originally born in England. So yeah, there's quite a few flavours of the world here.
Yes, Australia poaching players from all around the world to boost up their international status.
By any means necessary.
Jan Shirley, a player in the New Zealand Talent Development Program, Legion around Canterbury, has certainly come on leaps and bounds in her game over the last couple of years. She's proved it by getting through to the final of this event. They've had some very, very convincing wins on the way through. To go through a qualifying process to get into the main event, winning their semi-final 22 to 6 as well. We should be seeing a good battle here between them and the Australians. At the moment, it's the one shot. See the blue bowl short of the jack is Raelene Peters, a former New Zealand selector, women's selector, gives the directions to Jan Shirley, moving on her backhand. Well, we've got two sets of orange bowls, Jan Shirley as well as Penny Landher playing with the orange bowls.
Great bowl.
Oh, that's great stuff.
Could see a bit of aggression here from Anne, I think. Don't think you can draw that, so.
The way she's lining up on the mat, looks as though she's playing down on the backhand with some weight. Interesting if it turns on time, catches the edge of her own front bowl. Unfortunate for her. The first of 15 ends. They play 15 completed ends in the final. Jan Shirley, plenty of room to add. Confidence from her previous bowl. Looking to add to give the Canterbury girls a great start in this game. Wants it to stop. He wants it to stop.
Looks like it's enough, I think.
Yes, well done, Jan Shirley. Great start for the New Zealand combination. Jan Shirley, 2 shots added to the one of Raelene Peters, and they kick off the first end by leading by 3-0. On the forehand, the orange bowl of Penny Landher. Looks to have plenty of weight aboard. I think she's heading away through to the ditch.
Definitely. Yes.
Well, we won't be too critical because conditions out there are not exactly the easiest. It's very difficult to be critical anyway of a team that manages to get through to the final.
Exactly. There's a lot of teams that certainly wish they were out there playing now. That you see here, the wind is really starting to take effect on these bowls.
Yes, well, that bowl you would have believed was finishing within a metre past the jack, and it carried on a good couple of metres after that. So conditions are difficult. Yes, all those ones that thought they could have been here today, they're actually sitting on the sideline watching.
That's it. Conditions like this is the part of the game where you need to have a bit of a sense of humour. Otherwise, it can really drive you crazy. Looks like a great correction here.
Yeah, well done.
So I don't think this part of the country has been too much different from the rest of the country this year. We've had a considerable amount of wind over the months of September, October, November. We see the flags flying there.
One of the flags actually looked like it had tears on the end of it, which could be the result of very strong winds.
Corrections from both players. The shot though still with Penny Landher.
It's definitely conditions like this where an effective bowl really is really anything probably inside 3 to 4 feet. If you can manage to do that on a consistent basis, it'll go a long way towards winning a game, that's for sure. Just like another good bowl here from Penny.
Yes, encouragement from Jimmy Johns. I'm going to give you a little bit of background. I reckon I might know why she's called Jimmy.
Okay, help me out.
Yeah, well, born in Scotland?
Born in Scotland?
Aye, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've got it.
I reckon you have to.
Time for Raelene Peters to draw. How's she looking? On the forehand.
She's on the run after it,
She's
which is always a good sign.
Might be wanting to get up there and just kick it a little bit further, though.
Maybe, yes.
Everything's really quiet. Yeah, it feels unnatural, doesn't it? Totally, I think I still like you got try and draw one, I think.
Well, each player with a bowl Well, one on the bank and one on the edge of the ditch.
Yep.
4 bowls then were short after that. A little bit scared of that wind down the far end of the green, I think.
Yeah, the way they whistled past the jack and towards the ditch, it can be fairly off-putting. You definitely don't want to be seen to put 2 bowls in the ditch when you're only trying to draw a shot. They've corrected fairly well, the pair of them, so it's down to the skips to Jimmy on the backhand. Looks to be a decent track, but just running on a fraction.
Yes, the problem is that the wind is quite inconsistent. On that occasion, it wasn't affected at all by the breeze. Immediately it comes up again when someone else goes to play, so you can't get any idea from the previous people who have played bowls.
It's all pot luck at the moment.
Jan Shirley delivering on the forehand. Going out on a very wide line. She's got enough weight to come back. I think it looked wide and it stayed wide. Weight's very good. Needs to come through the blue bowls. Blue bowls of Raylene Peters.
You can often find too on a wider line, part of the green that hasn't been played on that much can be a lot slower than the regular inside line that does get run over too, so the bowls can sort of pull up a lot quicker.
Yes, these greens of course being used for the past 10 days for this event.
Great bowl from Jimmy.
Yes, it is at that. It's 3 shots at the moment to the Australians. They'll be looking at picking up a number here. Opportunities for them. Indications from Raylene Peters is to change her hand. I don't know if it's really necessary. She played some not bad bowls down on the other side of the green.
That's true. The blue only really needs a turn for the second shot, and you know they say if you can't get the shot, it's always good to try and get second shot to minimise the damage. But she's trying the backhand.
Yes, and I think it might have come unstuck as well.
It's always best to sort of go with what you know, especially when you're down.
Penny.
Jimmy just asking for Penny to stand jack high to give her a bit of a visual aid as to where to finish. A lot of the Aussie, especially the girls, sort of do that. They like to have a point to try and draw to.
Yes, particularly when they're playing to the jack, blinded by 4 or 5 short bowls in particular. You see another one going into the bunch.
Just quite past.
Difficulty for Jan Philpott just making that adjustment, meter adjustment, to get over the top of those orange bowls that we can see.
It's very hard just to correct too, because you know you've got to throw it a bit harder, but in saying that, it's quite easy to throw it too hard and end up going through completely. So big bowl coming here.
It certainly is. Jan Philpott, the last bowl, clicks her fingers. Doesn't
Not sure
look
whether
to be
she's
too
sent
happy.
it.
No,
She's
it's a
turned her back.
poor
so
effort. It's a poor effort. Well, I don't think she should have changed her hand.
I'm sort of agreeing. It's there, Terry. Like I said, if she just had to turn the blue bowl once, would have been second shot, which is, ones don't really hurt you in a game like this. It's the multiples that can come back and haunt you later on. So
certainly so.
it's 3 shots to the Australians. So that'll give them a big confidence boost.
Yes, 3 has been scored by Australian combination on the 7th end, and they are back into this game. 6-5 it is. The Canterbury combination of Jan Shirley and Raylene Peters leading by the single shot. Raylene Peters, having delivered the jack, won't be changing her hand.
No, definitely sticking to this side of the green. The Australian girls would like to try and string a couple ends together now to build a bit of momentum.
Yeah, track was good.
Yes, picking up a 3 on the previous end. As you say, momentum, confidence. Didn't look happy as that one came out.
Looks a very tight line.
Yes, it does. Yes, it's important that Raylene gets back to the form that she showed earlier in this game. She dominated the lead bowls, getting one very close to the jack, putting some pressure on the opposing team, and that's where the New Zealanders managed to get their scoring chances. Become a little bit loose, Raylene, in the last couple of ends.
It probably comes to like the last few ends. Penny has played some good bowls too. So pressure is a very big part of the game, and it looks, yeah.
Well, for you, those of you at home who think, well, I could go out here and do better than this, don't think it's that easy in these conditions, because I can tell you
That wind has really whipped up now.
it certainly has, and where the players are standing and delivering the bowl is a totally different wind to where they get halfway down the green and to where they're finishing, and it's causing all sorts of problems here. It's Raylene Peters looks to be playing her best, keeping her third for the best one. That's not a bad bowl in these conditions.
That's a very good bowl.
Just over a metre away from the jack. Be happy with that.
Now it's time for the Penny to try and correct. It's never nice when you've played 2 bowls that finished where they have those other 2. You always worry about how it looks with the big crowd and especially watching, but she's answered very well here.
Yes, well, those 2 bowls both came down a reasonably tight line in the green, but players were trying to counteract perhaps some of the conditions, and now it's the turn of the skips. They probably fear going back to the other end of the green, thinking, well, we've got to now play in these conditions.
That's it. That's one thing with Anne as a skip, having watched the play quite a few times. She's a very supporting skip, and even though, especially those first 2 bowls of Penny's, as we see Penny's last bowl coming in, just doing enough. And she's always got a sense of humour about it, no matter how the game's going. She's always got that sense of humour, like I said, which you need in this game.
Yes, many a person would be getting totally frustrated about the situation. The deliverer of the bowl and the person watching it coming up, but there's nothing that can be done.
That's it. Once you let it go, it's gone.
Well, they're all trying to come down that same track. And Jan Shirley has come down that track as well to draw on the shot.
It was on the wider line.
Yes, conditions changing very quickly here at the Henderson Bowling Club. Camera crew preparing to put some covers over their cameras, which would indicate a little moisture in the air. It's interesting because here's Jan Shirley coming down that title line again with a bit too much weight, but it certainly has changed the line that the bowls are coming down. Second bowl, Anne Johns.
So she's on the title line now.
Yes, it's funny, you wouldn't believe it was actually down underneath that. The shot down underneath that orange bowl, it's a long way out. You'd sort of, looking at it, you'd think it was around it, but bowls are, and Raylene Peters gives an indication there where she wants Jan Shirley to come. Jan Shirley, final bowl. Nearing the completion of the halfway stage of this, the women's final.
Looks like
inside
another
the
nice
bar.
bowl coming again.
She did. She did it. She did it. She managed to come in off the Penny Lander bowl. It's 2-2 the Canterbury combination.
Penny asking Anne to follow that sort of line to get down to those bowls.
Has to be very narrow. You can see the bowl travelling across the centre line now. Just need to have some weight to get a result, and she
Just
had the
under.
weight, but the wrong direction. It's 2 to the Cantabrians. They redeem themselves from the previous end and pick up a 2. They now lead by 8-5. That's 8 ends of the 15 completed ends gone in the Trust New Zealand Open, the women's pairs final. We're into the final stages of the women's pairs final. New Zealand Open 2009. 10 ends been completed. It's 9-8 to the Australian combination of Anne Johns and Penny Lander. New Zealanders have led throughout the game until that last end. They conceded the shot to be the one behind. 15 completed ends to be played.
Good track here, Penny. Yeah, well done.
Looks like a great start here from Penny, especially over the long distance, the long end they're playing. Very good start.
Yes, a near full length end. Matt's up about a metre and a half. Living on the forehand, as she has done in the past. Raylene Peters. Just losing her way with that bowl. Seems to be that if you go out too wide on that hand, they will stay out there.
Track again, Penny.
Penny
Come on,
Lander
Penny.
with her second bowl.
Come on, Penny.
Coming in well again.
All the encouragement in the world from Anne Johns.
And 2 great bowls from Penny.
Very, very good.
Definitely found a range over the long ends.
Raylene Peters. A very good line, but the bowl looks to be pulling up very quickly. And this will be 3 of her loosest bowls that she
Yeah.
has played. That's putting a lot of pressure on her skip.
It's all the same ball.
Jan Shirley in a little bit of trouble on this occasion. 2 down at this stage. Brief discussion between the players. There's final bowl from Penny Lander.
Slightly underlined, but depending on the weight as to whether it hangs around, but it's just lost a little bit of both. 2 out of 3 is not bad.
Yep. Good song that too.
Yes. Old Meatloaf.
That last ball stopped on the wood. Did it stop on the flint? So it looked like it was. Yeah. Good ball, Penny.
Well, Jan Shirley wandering back to the mat, contemplating the situation. 2 down anyway. Won't worry about the third one. She should be getting inside that at least. But
You'd like to think so.
Australians, having scored on the 2 previous ends, are on a little bit of a roll.
It's 7 shots on the last 4 ends, which is, we spoke about momentum, and they've certainly got it at the moment.
Jan Shirley delivering on the forehand.
The line looks good.
It's all down to her weight. We see it travelling towards the jack.
Sure
Will it
on
stop
whether it's
in
going to
time?
pull up or not, but it's slowing.
Certainly help the cause.
It's definitely their best anyway, so.
It's very close to second shot, I would imagine. Still the bowl on the right-hand side as we look at it as the shot.
It's a good first bowl though by Jan.
Indication there of where Penny wants Anne Johns to draw to. Marketing coordinator at the St John's Bowling Club.
Yeah.
St John's Park in near Liverpool in Sydney, one of the strong premier clubs in Australia. Steve Glasson, Leif Selby all play out of there.
Some fantastic international players the St John's Park Bowling Club has had.
Jan's close again.
Jan Shirley. How good is this?
She's done it,
How
I think.
good is this?
I'm pretty sure she's done
How
it
good
this
is
time.
this? Oh, well done.
It's a great shot.
She needed that. She needed it. It was a pretty good bowl.
Where's Jan's ball, is it?
And Johns.
Track
Chasing.
looks good,
Chasing in the area.
depending on the weight.
It's all up to the weight. Might be a big channel she goes down through.
Oh.
Was it? Well,
Slips through. Still one down.
I need that little secondary.
as Raylene Peters contemplates the situation before giving directions to her partner.
Sure to be something along the lines of same again, Skip.
She was pretty well. She got the shot with her second bowl. She wasn't far away with her first. She knows what she has to do. The conditions remain relatively still.
A bit of sunshine coming through.
Jan Shirley, her third bowl. Either she's got the
Not
weight.
bad again.
She got the weight to get past
Oh,
this.
she might get the same slide, but a bit better.
Look at this. Well, she got the lucky rub, but if you're in the area, you
That's
take
it.
your
She
chances.
was never far away. Fortunately for
Jan Shirley, her final bowl. Rubbing off the front bowl and in for the shot. See the two green disc bowls that she has played, both counters, and now it's up to her opponent. And Johns, what will she be looking at here, Gerard?
I'm pretty sure it'll be a little bit more weight now with where her last bowl finished at Jack High. You can something there to sit on, or the orange bowl of pennies coming up. So I'm expecting this to be getting there a little bit quicker than before.
Yes, well, that's what I would have thought so as well, but she appears to be out on the wider line. We've seen a couple of bowls go out there before and they will not come back.
She had the weight, but just
Well,
just that similar draw line.
it's some fantastic bowls there from Jan Shirley. She picks up two shots anyway,
Yep.
and it is just the two. Well done, Jan Shirley, because you were under all sorts of pressure in that end, and you have come up trumps, picking up the two shots and taking your combination now to a 10-9 lead. 4 ends to be played in the Trust New Zealand Open Women's Pairs Final. Raylene Peters, bat out, just over a metre. On a short to medium length jack, and her
Very
opening
good start.
bowl looks to be pretty good as well. It's important for the New Zealanders to score on this end, Gerard.
Definitely, yes. To the difference now, if it was to the Australians to win this end, put them at least 3 if they only get a 1, and considering that the Kiwis have only scored 3 shots on once, and that was on the very first end in the game, it'd be very hard to to get back into the game. So definitely, I feel a must-end win for the New Zealanders.
Well, Raylene Peters, the blue bowl, you can see sitting to the left of the jack. It's the shot at the moment. She needs a good end, Raylene Peters. She had a couple of shots in the last end, but unfortunately for her, it was Anne Johns who drew the winner.
Just a slight correction on weight and line required from Penny here to get close. Should be looking to set Anne up and take the pressure off her.
Come on, Penny.
Backhand delivered bowls from both players.
Coming in well.
Got a shot here, Penny.
Encouragement from her skip. Look at this.
That's a terrific
Look at that.
bowl.
That's pretty good.
Front toucher. Very hard to
Still
beat.
there. They're far behind.
And John's very happy with that. He certainly has reason to be. They lead by 2. Penultimate end.
Tracking well.
Raylene Peters, can she get the shot back? Can she get the shot back?
Very close.
Oh, great shot, mate.
Terrific bowl there
Oh, it's
from Raylene.
very good, and it fell over
Fell
too.
over just in front of Jack. So
Well,
Stay there. If you get onto it's good, or if you land back here, it's good too. Wait to there.
yes, Raylene just telling Jan how well I played that one. And she did it as well.
Jimmy just asking Penny to just arrive to the head. Hopefully disturb something, or
Come on,
if not,
Penny.
just finish past the head. And she doesn't look to be too far away.
Oh, that's pretty
Terrific
good
effort.
bowls again.
Fattens the target up a bit too, which always helps.
Well, that's some of the better bowls that we've seen actually from the 2 leads. It's,
Yes.
5 good bowls there.
Yep.
3 very good bowls.
Come on, Penny.
Well, this is the second bowl
Got a shot
from
here,
Penny. Penny landed. The one that drew the shot itself.
Normally you'd feel fairly safe.
You would have felt safe with that until
But
the blue one came along.
Raylene had other ideas. Terrific bowl there.
Yep, great stuff from these 2 ladies. Yep, Jan Shirley, she's happy about it. Gives her partner a pat on the back and says, thanks very much.
The heart rates are fairly well flying inside those chests, I think.
Certainly are. And that's how the situation is at the moment, as the skip of the Canterbury combination, Jan Shirley, goes back to the mat.
Just going to jam against the blue. Yeah. Exactly. Sitting there anyway.
Decides to continue down the backhand, as has been done by those gone before her on this end.
There's a chance with a slight bump on the orange bowl that's next to the shot bowl. Would move the jack over to the other blue bowl.
Yes, I don't really think there's a lot of danger
No.
for Jan in drawing into this. As we can see there, we're just talking about the orange bowl that's right beside the blue one. Any contact on the outside of that is going to propel the jack across to the left over to the other blue bowl of Raylene Peters.
That would definitely make the target a lot less appealing from the mat end for Jimmy, that's for sure. So just very surprised that she missed on the short side there. But it is the second last end of a major final, so I'm sure there's maybe some sweaty palms happening, even though it's not that warm out there.
And Johns on the forehand, looking to get down and get some contact onto her own bowl.
Gets past that.
Well, past it.
Was probably suffering from a bit of a lack of weight herself. Like, she would have only just sort of made jack, I think. So
Yes, she was wanting some contact on
Yeah.
the orange bowl, get it rolled over onto the blue one.
Jimmy's playing that hand, obviously cautious of not doing what we just spoke about, turning the orange bowl onto the blue bowl to move the jack. So maybe a bit of cat and mouse going on at the moment.
Jan Shirley needs a couple of metres more weight than she had on the previous time. On her backhand again.
Definitely feel this has to reach, even if she doesn't get the shot, if she can get one past, because she's
Take back now.
definitely got more weight on this one. Although the one down, there's still a bit of danger for the Australians here. If they could play the shot, it could go wrong if the jack goes right back.
Yes, where that last bowl of Raylene Peters is, the
Yeah, try and get to those ones there.
already one back there. A lot of danger for the
Exactly. And I think that's what she's trying to do, going towards the
Yeah,
ball, there.
yeah.
We're still just trying to get past
danger for the Australians. Got to be very careful.
Another yard out, or is it?
They won't want to concede a shot.
No.
They've got to be careful they don't concede more than one shot.
Definitely, yeah. From the sound of their conversation, it would appear that they're not trying to get the shot on this particular time, and in the hope that Anne can get one just around behind the head there, and then hopefully convert with the last.
Yes, we can see that Penny Lander's gone to stand metre and a half past the jack. That's where she wants Anne Johns to put her bowl.
Looks
And
like
do a
it's
pretty
coming
good home.
for what they were looking at.
Not a bad
Handy,
effort.
but depending on what shot she decides to play. Very interesting to see what Jan does here.
Jan Philpott. Last bowl of the second last end.
In the area.
It's coming right into the area. Oh, that's good stuff. Well, that changes it dramatically.
Definitely.
That's a great bowl from Jan Philpott. 2 shots to the Canterbury combination.
Still down there, isn't it? Still down there.
Yeah, it's Jan Philpott sometimes and Jan Shirley the other times, depending how well she plays her. Look at this bowl from her.
And always look good coming down.
Absolutely fantastic, just getting the nice little catch in there. 2 shots. Well done, Jan Shirley. Well done.
Pressure squarely back on Jimmy now. Being 2 down, she can afford to play at this now, knowing that really there's no chance of being any worse off. The two New Zealand bowls at the back, so if it was to go back there, it'd still be only the 2 if she wasn't to go with it. So
Really just looking at drawing into it.
getting in through that funnel, she just needs to get down.
How's she looking?
It's coming.
How's she looking?
Oh, it needs to
How's
get
she
down.
looking?
Oh, it's a terrific effort.
Oh, that was a fantastic effort. Well, it's all tied up going into the last end. It's 2 shots. Yep, 2 shots to the New Zealanders. It's Jan Shirley and Raylene Peters who scored 2 on the 14th end. 12 all, the final end of the Trust New Zealand Open Women's Pairs Final.
We are all tied up heading.
The opening bowl, the last end.
Okay, good starter.
Penny Lander. Pressure on all 4 players. 12 all. New Zealanders have scored on 7 ends. The Australians have scored on 7 ends.
Come on, Riley.
This is coming in good.
Raylene Peters. That's pretty
Very
good.
good start.
Very good start.
This is where you kill for a front toucher.
There's the reply coming in here from
Tracking
Penny.
in, but picking up speed there. Needs to sit the bowl.
Got movement of the jack and
Yeah.
sat the bowl.
A little bit fortunate, but you take what you can get at this stage of the game.
A little bit of chalk put onto the bowl to indicate that if that goes in the ditch, will remain alive. There's Aileen Peters. See, this is what's happened. She's tried to counteract her green going across, and when she goes out a little bit wider, it seems to take a different line and pace.
I'm sure Anne doesn't mind everyone playing down this side. That'll free up her favourite side on the other hand.
Yes, we can certainly recall what she has done down that hand. Forehand.
Penny just hoping to get one real close just to take the pressure off Anne.
Certainly looks to be on a good line. It's the line that the previous ones have gone down.
Needs to settle.
Aileen Peters about to deliver what possibly be her last bowl of this final. 12 all. Delivers.
She's on the charge. So
Certainly looks to be on the better line. It's all down to her weight now. I don't know if she's got enough.
still coming.
Pulling up short, I think. Well, a lot of encouragement from the crowd. I don't know if it's got the shot.
Even these tricky conditions, I mean, you'd expect the bowls there not to finish up as the shot anyway. Particularly the way the skips have been drawing. They've been drawing very well, so.
Yes, it'll be interesting to see Anne Johns. I'm sure she'll go down the backhand where she's had so much success the times that she has.
Looks to be very similar in length too to the last end playing this way, so she can remember exactly what she did.
Livers on the backhand. Studies it.
It looks like the line that she took. Needs to just
Taken
run.
well, if it's got the weight to carry. Looks to be pulling up very quickly though. And it has this
No.
time.
Nailed that line again.
Well,
Still unsure who's actually holding shot.
Jan Shirley
Wow.
being encouraged by her lead to play down the backhand as well, which does surprise me. Yep.
Especially if they are one down. I mean, well, even if they aren't, the blue bowl is on the way in. Just needs turning over to.
Struggled on her previous occasions that she played on this hand. She just dropped them short. Has she got the weight? Has she got the weight? I don't think she has. That looks to be coming up short as well, doesn't it?
It does. However,
Well,
pretty sure that they have blocked off any draw shot on that hand now. So
made it a little bit more difficult. There's Penny Lander.
oh, geez, I don't like that.
Well, we heard Penny Lander say come under it or push that out, which give you perhaps an indication that the blue bowl may well be shot.
Not sure I'll get back
Neither
there.
team have given us any indication
Stay there.
as to who actually holds the shot.
Staying on her backhand, but looks difficult with that last bowl of Jan's.
Anne Johns on the backhand. It's certainly got more weight than her previous one, I'm sure she has.
She's looking. She needs connection. She's going to slide through there, but
That's through the gap.
that's
Wow.
the thing with playing a little bit of weight. There's lots of holes there.
Just we could get some idea, wouldn't it, as to who actually has got the shot. I'm just wondering if they're playing with that sort of weight.
I don't think either team knows or is game to say in case they're wrong. So I'm still. I suppose they're. It's a good shot if she had got it. So you got to play what you're confident with out there. So she's obviously confident on that hand.
I'm just wondering whether the girls that we see here on the screen may hold the shot. See if we can hear.
Still very surprised that they're not taking the open forehand. They would hate to get down with a little bit of weight onto Anne's first bowl. It would only need 2 rolls in for shot.
A lot of discussion. A little bit of concern on the Australian's face, but that may be no indication as to who has the shot.
This confirmation for those at the far end of the ring, certainly New Zealand holding shot, and Shirley has shot at the moment.
Oh, just heard that. Sounds like it's 1 shot to New Zealand.
Well, we've had an indication. The blue bowl that we see there to the left, as we're looking, that's a side-on view. It's actually in front of the jack, looking down the green, is the shot bowl. Blue bowl is the shot bowl. Jan Shirley, second last bowl, delivers.
Decided on the forehand, which
On a nice line, gets onto the blue one and turns it a bit closer. That would be great for her.
running through.
Running through, however,
It's all down to this bowl.
pressure is on the Australians. Ian Johns played with some weight on the previous occasion, looking at to turn up her own bowl, go through and take out the shot bowl on the backhand as they look at it. Blue bowl in front of the jack is the shot. 14 all, 12 all. Whoever scores on this end, take out the title. The winner's purse and the medals. Trust New Zealand Open Women's Champions.
What should do, but then we're looking at her. Big pressure.
A lot of discussion.
Just deciding on what shot to play, and one thing we learned from our practice sessions over here on the quick starweed greens. If you're going to try and play a shot, it usually you try and keep it to either a draw shot or a fairly attacking shot. The in-between weighted shots very, very difficult on this on the pace of green and on the starweed. So
Get the ball, sit with the jack, looks really good.
but you have to play what you're confident with, and she wasn't too far away from a result with the last one. As we see our coach that's with us this week, Jenny Harrigan there on the left.
Will this be the last bowl of the women's pairs final, or will it be such a good bowl that Jan Shirley?
Jan will be praying that she can put a bowl in the bag, I think.
Anne Johns on the mat, going on the backhand side. Sure, she's going to look at playing with weight. Delivered it as though she has opportunities, turning her own bowl, getting through onto the blue bowl.
In the area.
She's in
Needs
the
to-
area
needs to
again.
hold to turn the bowl
She needs
through.
to hold, and she's done it up.
turning
It's
it
a
up.
victory for the Canterbury combination of Jan Shirley and Raylene Peters. They have come out the ultimate winners by 13-12 over Anne Johns and Penny Lander from Australia. A magnificent victory for the Canterbury combination. It was tight throughout the whole match. It was only on one occasion that the Australians led earlier on at 9-8 and then at 12-10 with 2 ends to play. But it was the final end that the New Zealand combination of Jan Shirley and Raylene Peters came out as the ultimate winners in this, the Trust New Zealand Open Women's Pairs Final.
What a fantastic way to start 6 weeks of bowls. Terry, we said it was going to be close between New Zealand and Australia. We said the Cantabrian girls could do it, and they did it, and they waited till the very, very last bowl of the match.
Yes, there were some very skillful shots from Jan Shirley. I thought she played quite outstandingly. She was put under some pressure in the middle stages of the game by Raylene Peters, but she came through at the end, and I'm sure that she was happy she didn't have to play that last bowl.
Terry, you mentioned the conditions. You said they were going to be tough, and we saw that some bowls going astray with the heavy wind and also the fast screen.
Yeah, very, very loose bowls at times, and unfortunately it doesn't help the game to the viewers there at home. But I can assure you it was a pretty tense game throughout. It was always going to be tough against us Australian combinations, but well done, you Cantabrians.
All right, well, thank you very much, Terry. Terry, we'll see you next week, and we'll also see you next week. We have the men's pairs final.